Welcome everybody to the Gruely Truth Sports Network, powered by betting.net. I'm your host, Mike Goodpaster. Today we're going to talk about Tricast betting, also known as a trifecta. Of course, we just had a huge upset in the Kentucky Derby. The Preakness is only 2 weeks away. The buzz for the Preakness is going to be huge. So we're going to give you a different way to bet on the ponies. We can do a Tricast bet. So what exactly is a Tricast bet? That's a good question, right? It's a trifecta. It's basically defined as the correct selection of the top three horses in order. That means you got to pick the horse to finish first, second, third. Now, the important facts to know here about a Tricast bet, that is, the exact order of selection is highly important. It's everything here. First, second, third, you got to nail the horses in that specific order. Now, a Tricast bet is a much more advanced and complex kind of bet. And a Tricast bet also, most places that I know, what I've always heard was trifecta. This is a trifecta. It's commonly used in horse racing and greyhound racing. Now, horse race betting and greyhound racing have different criteria before a Tricast option is offered. So, a small amount of money here can lead to a large payout, but the risk is a lot bigger than it is just betting one horse to win, place, or show. So what exactly is a Tricast bet? A Tricast bet, the first thing you must know about a Tricast bet is it is commonly used, as I said, in horse racing and greyhound racing. Simply put, punters betting trifecta are required to make three selections to win the first, second, and third place. Tricast bet is a form of forecast betting whose complexity sets in as it adds one extra prediction to the usual one or two predictions made for a betting forecast. When bettors make a Tricast bet, what they are essentially doing is predicting the top three finishers in a single event. So you must get first, second, third, all have to be correct. It can't be in any order. It has to be dead on. There are conditions to be made before a Tricast bet can be made. And in horse racing, there must be at least 8 horses declared in a handicap for the option of Tricast to be offered. While in greyhound racing, I believe it is 6. There has to be 6 dogs basically in the race before you can do a Tricast bet. And there are two major kind of Tricast bets. That is a straight Tricast ticket and a combination Tricast ticket. We're going to go through the combination Tricast bet now. And really what you got to know about the combination, it's kind of like boxing horses in a horse racing bet where, you know, you'll pick the top 3. If they finish in any order, you win. And that is what it means, basically. A combination Tricast bet affords bettors the opportunity to make 3 selections to come in first, second, third without having to worry about the order. Now, the Tricast bet or straight Tricast bet is a very difficult prediction because the order must be correctly predicted also. And a combination Tricast, the 3 selections can finish in any order. To cover for this condition of not having to worry about order, a combination bet is actually 6 bets that cover all possible outcomes that the 3 selections can take. So with a combination Tricast bet, you get a little bit more leeway there. If you pick the top 3 horses, you're going to win no matter what order they are. Now, what are some of the advantages and disadvantages of a Tricast bet? Well, the one major advantage is that a trifecta bet or Tricast bet is associated with a chance to make some damn money. It's what we want. If you could pick those top 3 horses, the odds are so much better, so much higher. It also makes the risk reward a little bit different because the reward is huge, but the risk is going to be bigger too. It's hard to predict the first 3 finishers in a race. All right? That's hard. It's hard enough to pick one winner. We saw that with the Kentucky Derby where you had a horse that was 80-1 came up and win. Nobody really thought that horse had a chance. Imagine if you would have. But I digress because every time I see something like that happen, I think, man, I should just throw $2 on the longest shot every time just in case. But it's a long shot for a reason. It doesn't pay off that much. And this is kind of a long shot also. It is a long shot. But the payoff, the risk reward here, I think is great. And with the conclusion, a Tricast bet is a very rewarding type of bet that is engaged in by professionals and experienced bettors, as well as just bettors who are bold, with less emphasis on years of betting experience. I mean, you could get in here, you want to take a shot, you know, do a Tricast bet. throw some money on a select group of horses, see what you can do here. And there was a certain level of difficulty involved in correctly predicting the outcomes of a Tricast bet. There's always the option of reducing the risk by engaging a combination Tricast bet, which we talked about, wherein bettors don't have to worry about the order. You just have to make 3 correct selections. The trade-off for reducing risk by making a combination Tricast bet is that the stakes get multiplied by 6. A reasonable trade-off, by the way. You really need to look at this. Because especially if you just started betting, we've got a guide to horse race betting on thegruelingtruth.com that I think you'll love, that will help you bet. And the thing about this is, if you go to thegruelingtruth.com or betting.net, you'll also find that we give you comparisons on all the sports books, especially for horse racing. You can check them out. You got 2 weeks to prepare for the Preakness. Make sure you do that, guys. But that is what Tricast betting is, otherwise known as Trifecta. When they told me to do a video on Tricast betting, I looked it up. I didn't know what it was, and then I realized they just changed the word on me. It's a Trifecta. So remember, a Trifecta or a Tricast bet is picking the top 3 horses in the exact correct order, first, second, third. A combination Tricast bet is any combination, any order of the 3 horses you pick. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Make sure you keep an eye out for all of our Preakness Stakes coverage. It'll be ramping up here as we head up towards the second leg of the Triple Crown. But for now, I'm Mike Goodpaster. Check out betting.net. Make sure you check out our guide to horse racing on thegruelingtruth.com. But for now, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been watching and listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.